Today was the day she had dreamed of since she could remember, the first day of her apprenticeship at the old lighthouse on Maple Cove. Late one summer morning, Ariel stood in front of the mirror and studied her reflection. Her cheeks were still flushed from sleep, and her hair stuck out in soft waves around her face. But as she gazed at her reflection, a small knot of doubt curled in her stomach. Ariel had grown up watching the lighthouse beams sweep across the water every night, guiding fishermen safely home. She believed that one day she would learn its secrets, how to polish the great Fresnel lens, wind the clockwork mechanism, and keep the lantern bright through storm and calm alike. Destiny, she thought, had led her here. Yet now that the moment arrived, she found herself hesitating. "Are you all right?" asked her mother from the doorway. She carried a tray with 2 glasses of lemonade and a plate of crisp biscuits. "You look as if you paused in mid-step." Ariel forced a smile. "I'm fine, Mom. Just a little nervous." Her mother set the tray on the dresser. "Nervous is fine. It means you care. But take a breath. Destiny doesn't rush you. It waits while you find your courage." Ariel nodded, sipping the cool lemonade. The sweetness spread through her chest, calming her. She remembered her mother's words whenever she felt scared. It's okay to pause. It's not okay to give up. Outside, the cove lay calm under a pale blue sky. The lighthouse stood tall at the edge of the cliff, its white tower gleaming in the sun. Ariel picked up her satchel and slung it over her shoulder. Inside, she carried a notebook filled with sketches of gears and lanterns, and a small handkerchief embroidered with a lighthouse motif, her good luck charm. She walked down the rocky path, her boots clicking on the stones. At the foot of the cliff, she paused again, looking up at the tower's height. Her heart pounded. A seagull called overhead. Ariel closed her eyes, recalling her mother's steady voice. With a deep breath, she stepped forward. The heavy wooden door creaked as she pushed it open. A wave of cool air and the scent of oil and salt greeted her. Inside, the stairs wound upward in a spiral. Ariel took the first step, then another, her lantern casting a pool of light on the worn stone walls. "Good morning," called a voice from above. It was Keeper Rowan, the lighthouse keeper. He stood halfway up, leaning on the banister. He was tall and broad-shouldered, with kind eyes and a salt and pepper beard. Ariel had met him only once, when she delivered her application under a jar of polished sea glass. "Good morning, Keeper Rowan," Ariel said, hurrying up the steps. "Thank you for having me." "Call me Rowan," he replied with a warm smile. "We all work together here, and you must be Ariel, Destiny's newest apprentice." Ariel laughed softly. "I hope Destiny will be patient with me." "Destiny is always patient," Rowan said, guiding her up the final flight. "We tend to grow in our own time." At the top, the lantern room opened before them in all its glory. The great Fresnel lens stood at the center, its glass prisms shining like 1,000 diamonds. Ariel's breath caught. The room was small but proud, with brass mechanisms and coil springs all whispering of precision and care. "This is where you will learn," Rowan said. "First lesson, respect the light. It must never burn low. Lives depend on it." Ariel nodded, stepping forward. She reached out her hand to touch the cool brass railing. In that moment, she understood what destiny meant. Not a fixed plan, but an invitation to show up again and again, even when her heart trembled. For the next week, Ariel worked alongside Rowan. She learned to wind the clockwork every 4 hours, oil the gears with care, and polish each glass prism until it shone like the morning sun. She cleaned the lantern's chimney, replaced the wicks, and studied the patterns of the light's rotation. Yet sometimes, especially on windy nights, she felt her courage drift away. The wind rattled the windows, and the sea roared against the rocks below. Ariel would grip the railing, her knuckles white, and wonder if she was truly fit for this life. At those times, Rowan would appear beside her with a lantern in hand. "Pause if you must," he would say softly. "Take a moment. Find the calm in your breath. Then try again." And Ariel did. She learned that a pause was not a failure, but a chance to regain her balance, to remind herself why she was here. One twilight, a storm rolled in faster than expected. Dark clouds swallowed the sky, and sheets of rain battered the tower. Rowan and Ariel hurried up the stairs as the wind howled through the cracks. Lightning flashed, turning the sea into a giant mirror. Thunder shook the tower. Inside the lantern room, Rowan lit the lamp and adjusted the mechanism. The light shone out into the storm. Ariel stood by his side, holding the spare wicks and oil, but as the wind rattled the windows, she froze. Her vision blurred, her hands trembled. She could not move. Rowan noticed. He placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "Remember, Ariel, you have paused so many times. Now take that pause and let it guide you. You know what to do." Ariel swallowed hard. She closed her eyes, counted to 3, and opened them. The storm still raged, but inside her mind a small, calm light glowed. She reached for the spare wick, lit it, and placed it in the lamp. Her hands grew steady as she adjusted the flame to the proper height. The two of them worked together, and soon the lantern shone bright and steady through the storm. Ariel watched the beam cut a path through the darkness, straight and certain. She felt a surge of pride, her own small light shining in the storm. That night, after the storm passed, Rowan and Ariel sat together on a bench outside the lighthouse. The sea was calm once more, reflecting the pale moonlight. Ariel wrapped her arms around her knees and looked up at the sky. "Do you think destiny will let me become a keeper someday?" she asked quietly. Rowan smiled. "Destiny never closes its doors. You paused when you needed to. Then you chose to try again. That courage will carry you far." Ariel leaned back and let the cool breeze brush her face. She thought of all the times she had paused, when she felt scared to climb the stairs, when she worried the light might go out on her watch. And yet, here she was, stronger and wiser. "Thank you," she whispered, "for everything." Rowan nodded. "Tomorrow, you will lead the first watch alone. I have faith in you." As Ariel climbed back into the lantern room to prepare for her solo watch, she understood that destiny was not a distant place to reach, but the path she walked, step by careful step. Sometimes that path paused, giving her time to steady herself. Sometimes it lit the way forward with a bright beam through the darkness. And Ariel, apprentice no longer, stood ready to guide her own journey, her heart steady, her courage shining bright.